G'day, everybody. I want to talk about when you come to conclusions about certain animals or pets that you want to have, right? And when you like something, then you found out a bit later on, shit, I shouldn't have done that, shouldn't have got that pet, I didn't know they did all this, you didn't do your research too well. Because they look so bloody cute, right? And I learnt just a few years ago, I come to this conclusion. Definitely come to finally a conclusion. I had it a few times, but you let things go and you go, maybe it's just a one-off kind of thing. But you look at over time and you see a lot of the same animal, right? You can come to a conclusion about what animals is a good pet or a good animal to hang out with for you, because you might relate to them, or it just might be easier, right? Some animals are more self-reliant, and what I mean by that is not only they look after themselves, is that they don't make too much of a mess, or the mess doesn't stay around long. Like with bird poo. Good thing about bird poo out there, poos around, you might see a bird poo for a little while, but then when it rains, it washes away. So you never see massive piles of bird poo unless the rain can't get to it. You do see sections like that where they sit and they poo in certain sections. But most of it gets cleaned up when it comes to bird, which is a good thing, isn't it? So they're self-reliant. Look at them. They can feed themselves if they really need to. They look for where it's easy, right? Self-reliant. If not, they'll go find some food, right? And so they're a pretty cool pet. So if you ever need to let them go, you can too. They don't usually hurt the environment, right? When it comes to the animals that you can choose. And so they're things that I've thought about as I've reconnected with birds. Because, like I said in the story before, I used to hate birds, which I did. I used to even hate crickets and all sorts of things. They used to drive me bonkers, and I needed to heal from that. Right? So it was either go out and take them out, right? And I've gone out and yelled at some birds before, looking ridiculous and crazy, at magpies and crows and certain birds that, and pigeons that come to the window and go, ooh, ooh, ooh. They stop for a minute, ooh, you just about to doze off, ooh, ah, right? Drive you bonkers, don't it? And so I got to a point where I decided to attack them at first, like we all do usually, the easy way out. Or if I heard a cricket, where is it? I heard that sounds around here, pull out the fly spray, because usually that would completely shut it up, otherwise you wouldn't, would you? Right? And so I took it out or I made it run for its life. Right? But now I learnt to connect the last few years, and I've done good at it. It took a year or so at first. Even took Emma when I got the bird, she didn't like certain things. But you get used to anything if you have it long enough and you don't let it irritate you. You go, I suppose you get rid of it if you're, only the one living there and all that kind of thing. But if you're mixing with others, they need to learn to just like try to get with it. Well, it's there. I suppose I get used to it and try not to listen to it. Sort of like selected hearing kind of thing. Because us humans do that. I'm good at it. My mum used to hate it about my selective hearing. Because I had hearing problems, but then when my hearing problems went away, I still had the problem a little bit, as I also had selected hearing, so I can tune people out. I can focus into things. I'm really good at it. Right? I do that similar thing when it comes to my dancing, is that I can tune things out and come to more yourself, right? And stay in your world kind of thing, than to be in it, and then you can tune back and be in where everything else is, right? A little bit like when you're waking up out of a dream, people are talking in a room or something, and you hear this, and you're awake, and you're like, huh? Don't know if I'm the only one that ever gets that, but it's a little bit similar thing about you can zone out kind of thing in your brain. But anyway, I thought I'd chuck that out and have a little conversation about animals. And when it comes to me and the cats, here's another thing. Cats, I've had plenty of love with cats. I've had all sorts of cats. I've had a crazy cat that loved me heaps, like Shiva. She was a small cat, a little bit like Bridget. And where I loved them heaps, I sat around. When I sat around playing computer games, or I sat around getting better, or when I sat around a lot, I used to just pat a cat. And it was the only animal I had at the time, was just a cat. And so I'd pat a cat a lot, and the cat would love me and smooch me. But then when I didn't want to pat it, they can get so spoilt they'll bite you if you go, you're not patting me anymore. Or if someone wanted to try to remove her from me, which has happened to a few people, they would bite them. So I've had a cat that did that, and I also had a little dog named Teddy that also got protective like that, as I was around it a lot, patted it a lot. And so I got very protective of its massages, its protection kind of thing. So it used to protect me. Even when with Teddy, even with my brothers and sisters, I'll give you some stories about it. Teddy was a psycho, and he'd bite and draw blood if you go to pull him off me or something. Right? And so my brother, he used to like to play around with that, try to get Teddy off just for fun, right? Because Teddy will go crazy. But anyway, when it comes to cats, I've learnt my lesson with cats. I've decided more than likely for a while now, anyway, and to have some time off, is I won't personally be getting another cat and that responsibility, as I've learned about cats and I've had my time with cats, and a cat's good to have if you're by yourself and you've got time to teach it and stuff like that. But they're not a good pet if you don't have too much time to them, and they can make a lot of mess if you don't spend enough time with them too. They will end up creating more mess and a more annoyance, because a cat is a little bit like a human in a way, is that it doesn't like certain things. So if it's not happy, or it's hungry, or it just wants something, even though it knows it can't have it, it will make a noise like a dog. Dog does a similar thing too. The dog's a bit more loyal, where you can more likely get them to stop, than a cat. Good luck with the cats. Like, they stop once they usually get what they want. It's very hard, or they'll stop for a minute and go again. And you can tell them off, where a dog will learn real quick, where the cat won't. And I know this by experience. And they go, "Wah!" and do these terrible noises like they're dying, like a dog can do sometimes when they're sick. But a dog will take it a lot more than a cat would. Right? The cat would just have a moment and do it when it feels like. That's what I've noticed. But besides all that, they also scratch. They like to scratch as they need to. We have scratching little things that they scratch at. We've dealt with that. So once they've learnt an area, of course, when you get a pet, it's got to learn. So you got to expect all these things too. When you get these pets, you go, what's the traits? You have to go through this. Like a dog outside, if you're going to keep your dog outside, and it's been a pup, so it's been nurtured a lot, it's going to suck when you put it outside. It's just part of it. But then people don't want to do it because they feel bad, and they also feel that people like to spread a lot of bullshit around town when it comes to people's dogs howling and stuff like that. No. So when it comes to cats, I'm done with them for a while. Like I said, I've had my cat moment. Yeah, I love cats, just not as I love other animals. And I admit that kind of thing. I love all animals, right? But we do love them in different ways. Maybe because we're not educated yet as well, because I admit that. Sometimes if you haven't been around it, get to really truly know it, then you're not educated. Like when it comes to spiders, you see people who use spiders, play with spiders and hold spiders. It proves to you that spiders can get along, right? They're just like any other bird that gets to know you and stuff. You can feed it or help it. It knows that you're doing it. Look, Black Betty, no? And so what I decided a little bit later, besides what I'm doing now, like I'm adopting birds, right? So I see it adopting children. And then I decided while I was going through this phase and learning things about animals and all that, and what I can do at the moment too. Because you can do more when you got more money, as you can say, to do more in life, because that's what it's like. And so we do steps at a time, what we can do. And so I've got the babies here because there's a certain step I want to do to free them, which I've mentioned before. And so I'm going to need the place or finance to do that, don't I? Till then, I won't be able to do it properly, or I'll have to do it another way. I'm thinking I have to pull them out, which I've been starting to think about. But I prefer to do it the other way, when I know it's possible for the other things that I do and say and hope to get soon, right, for the things I do. But anyway, when it comes to the birds, I adopt them and I want to teach them and upgrade them as well. You can do it naturally out in nature, but you can do it quicker by, going to school longer, stuff like that. And so after a while, when they want to be free, they will be free. If they love me. See, if you adopt something, right, it depends on when you got the time, the adoption, and how you taught it and what it went through to how they're going to turn out. Like if you adopt a child, if you wanted to see them that look up to you like a mother, well, it's how you treat them, right? And if they look up to you like a mother, they're going to come back. If they don't, they're not going to come back as often, are they? Right? And that's just how it goes. So I feel that when I go to release my babies, and I'll have little trackers in there because it'll be a little bit part of helping everybody, and for me to learn the thing that I'm doing with them, and for them, hey babies, yeah, and let them do the steps that I want to do to free them. And they might not even leave. They might just fly around like here around the town, like my buddies do around here, like the locals, right? And it's just like having a pet, right? That's how I see it. So instead of having pets, eventually I'll only be helping pets, or helping animals, sorry, not pets. So it'll be like having a pet, sorry. And having my wild pets. I think it's pretty cool because they can come and see you at any time. And I'm starting to notice with my wild buddies, they do a lot like that. Huh? They're just like a bird at home. Huh? They get to know things. And of course, we all connect with how do we connect? And the best way to connect with animals is, of course, food. Right? You're not forcing it onto them. You know, in a way, people will look at it there and go, well, because you feed them, they're doing it. Well, why are humans doing things? Why do humans go to work? Because they get money. Well, you're giving them money, aren't you? Right? It's a system of connection. Right? And that's how I see that I can work with the animals. So I feed them, and then they might even work, hey, what can I do? Hang around, what do you want me to do? Maybe because with my babies here, you start to talk and connect, and they do things, and you do an action back. They can connect with what you want. Bird people will tell you that how to connect with birds, and there's all different ways. Right? It depends on the bird too, because all birds have different intelligence. Right? In a way, just like humans, all species are all different in all different ways, and they're meant to be like that for a reason, to show an ultimate point. Right? Even when it comes to our species ourselves, scientists talk about it all the time about they're smarter people, more upgraded as we change in evolution. But we also want to find out when we upgrade, do we help or do we upgrade to the barbaric way where we go, we're better than you? And when it comes to God, he doesn't like to see that one. That's the butterfly there. Wow. Can you see? No, no. And it's up to us collectively to choose which way we want to go with that. Anyway, I'm blabbing now. Have a good one, and I hope you get me point when it comes to how I see animals and how I make the decisions. And if you make decisions like that and you've got plenty of reason why and story, then they're good decisions. Other than that, you can always make quick decisions, but sometimes they're not the ultimate answer, is it? Until you go through certain things. So when it comes to me and the cats, I know confidently that my decision is a wise and good decision to make. For me, definitely when you want to move on and help connect with other animals. So like moving on to something different as well, which is what I want to do. So have a good one, people. And like I said, it's not like I'm never going to have a cat around, or I wouldn't help a cat or anything like that. It's just I wouldn't go with a cat for a pet. Have a good one. Bye. I'd rather me wild pets. How do you reckon it? You see a lot of people having wild pets instead of home pets. I reckon it'd be a good little new trend, wouldn't it? Bye.